Have you ever stared at a dessert menu or walked down the candy aisle and felt a sudden pang of sadness because you knew you couldn't touch a single thing? Maybe your doctor has given you that stern look and told you that your blood pressure is creeping into the danger zone and that the days of indulging your sweet tooth are over. It feels like a door slamming shut on one of life's simple pleasures, doesn't it? But what if I told you that wasn't entirely true? What if I told you that there are specific sweet treats that aren't just allowed but could actually help your blood pressure go down? It sounds almost too good to be true, right? Like finding out that relaxing on the sofa is a form of exercise. But stay with me because today we are going to flip the script on the traditional strict blood pressure diet. We are going to reveal 4 delicious scientifically backed treats that can act as natural medicine for your arteries, helping you regain control over your health without losing all the joy in your life. Welcome back to our community where we believe that aging isn't about restriction, it is about strategy. If you're watching this, it is likely because you or someone you love is dealing with high blood pressure. It is the silent worry that hums in the background of so many lives, especially once we pass the age of 60. You might be tired of the medications with their side effects, or maybe you are just tired of eating bland, cardboard-tasting food in the name of health. I hear you, and I want you to know that you are not alone in that frustration. It is exhausting trying to be perfect all the time, but the problem might not be that you are eating sweets. It might just be that you have been eating the wrong kind. There is a hidden culprit in most desserts, which is processed refined sugar, and we know that is bad news. However, nature has provided us with sweet compounds that work differently in the body. In this conversation, we are going to uncover the top 4 sweet treats that can actually relax your blood vessels and lower those numbers on the monitor. By the end of this time together, you will have a shopping list that looks more like a celebration than a prescription, and you will understand exactly why these foods work so you can eat them with confidence, not guilt. Before we dive into our first delicious treat, if you care about staying healthy and independent well into your golden years, consider subscribing to our channel and turning on notifications. We share the kind of senior health tips that doctors often overlook because they are too busy to explain the lifestyle side of things. We are building a movement here of people who refuse to let age define their limits. And let me ask you a quick question because I am always fascinated by our global family. Are you watching this from the United States, the UK, Canada, Australia, or somewhere else entirely? Drop a comment below with where you are watching from. I am always curious to see how far our senior health community reaches, and it is wonderful to see us all connected by the same goal of better health. Now let's get into it. We are going to start with something that almost feels like it should be illegal on a health plan because it is so decadent. Number 1 on our list is dark chocolate. Yes, you heard me right. I'm talking about the rich, velvety, melt-in-your-mouth goodness of chocolate. Now, before you rush out to buy a candy bar, let's pause and understand the rules here because not all chocolate is created equal. The hidden hero in chocolate is a compound called flavanols. When we get older, our blood vessels can become a bit stiff, almost like an old garden hose that has been left out in the sun too long. This stiffness is what causes your blood pressure to rise because your heart has to pump harder to push the fluid through. Flavanols found in the cocoa bean stimulate the lining of your arteries to produce a gas called nitric oxide. Think of nitric oxide as a gentle signal that tells your blood vessels to relax and open up. When the vessel opens, the blood flows more easily and the pressure drops. It is simple plumbing physics, but it happens inside your body. There was a study published that showed seniors who consumed a small amount of high cocoa chocolate daily saw a significant drop in their blood pressure readings. But here is the catch, and this is crucial for you to remember. We're talking about dark chocolate that is at least 70% cocoa. The milk chocolate bars you see at the checkout counter are mostly sugar and milk, which will do the opposite of what we want. Imagine this for a moment. It is late afternoon and you're feeling that slump. Instead of reaching for a cookie, you break off a square or 2 of high-quality dark chocolate. You let it melt slowly on your tongue. It is slightly bitter, but mostly deep and rich. As you enjoy that moment, you can actually visualize your arteries responding, relaxing, and letting the blood flow freely. It is a moment of peace for your mind and your heart. However, moderation is key here. Chocolate still has calories. You don't need to eat the whole bar. Think of it as a medicinal dose. 1 or 2 squares a day is enough to get the nitric oxide boost without spiking your blood sugar or adding too much weight. So next time you're at the grocery store, look for that 70% or 80% label. It is a sweet treat that fights back against high blood pressure. Moving on to our second sweet savior. This one is nature's candy, and it is as beautiful as it is healthy. We are talking about berries, specifically blueberries and strawberries. Now, you might think you know about fruit, but berries are in a league of their own when it comes to blood pressure. The secret weapon here is a group of antioxidants called anthocyanins. These are the pigments that give blueberries their deep blue color and strawberries their vibrant red. In the world of plant biology, usually the brighter the color, the more potent the medicine. For us, over 60 inflammation is often a silent driver of high blood pressure. Over the decades, low-level inflammation can irritate the linings of our blood vessels, causing them to tighten up. Anthocyanins are incredible anti-inflammatories. They rush into your system and help cool down that inflammation, allowing your vascular system to function the way it did when you were younger. There was a fascinating study involving over 100,000 people over 14 years, and it found that those who ate the most anthocyanins, primarily from blueberries and strawberries, had an 8% reduction in the risk of high blood pressure. That might sound like a small number, but in the world of cardiovascular health, 8% is massive. It can be the difference between needing medication and managing it with diet. Plus, berries are relatively low in sugar compared to other fruits, so they won't spike your blood glucose levels, which is a common worry for many of us navigating diabetes alongside hypertension. Picture this: you wake up in the morning and maybe your joints are feeling a little stiff and you're worried about your numbers. You take a bowl of warm oatmeal and you pile a handful of fresh blueberries on top. As they burst in your mouth, releasing that sweet tart juice, you are literally feeding your blood vessels the nutrients they need to stay flexible. It is such a simple addition. You don't have to cook them or prepare them. You just wash them and eat them. If fresh berries are too expensive or out of season where you live, frozen berries are just as good. In fact, sometimes frozen ones are even better because they are picked at peak ripeness and flash frozen, locking in all those nutrients. So try swapping your morning toast or sugary cereal for a bowl of berries. Your heart will thank you for it. If you're finding these tips useful so far, please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps spread the word to other seniors who might be struggling with their health and looking for answers. And if you haven't yet, do subscribe for more little-known health insights. We are just getting started on this list, and the next two items are real game changers that you might not have in your kitchen yet, but definitely should. Now let's talk about number 3 on our list. This one feels a bit more exotic, but it is a powerhouse that has been revered for centuries. It is the pomegranate. Pomegranates are unique. You have these tough, leathery fruits, and inside they are filled with these jewel-like seeds called arils bursting with sweet tart juice. But why are they good for your blood pressure? The science here is incredibly compelling. Pomegranate juice acts somewhat like a natural ACE inhibitor. Now, if you take blood pressure medication, you might recognize the term ACE inhibitor. It is a class of drugs that stops the body from producing a chemical that tightens blood vessels. Pomegranates seem to mimic this effect naturally. They prevent the enzyme that causes constriction from doing its work. One study found that drinking just a few ounces of pomegranate juice daily for 2 weeks significantly lowered both systolic and diastolic blood pressure. It is like a natural plumber for your arteries, helping to clear the path and reduce the pressure. But here is the reality check. Pomegranate juice can be quite tart. So many brands loaded up with added sugar. You have to be a detective. You want 100% pure pomegranate juice with no added sugar, or better yet, eat the fresh seeds. I know getting the seeds out of a pomegranate can feel like a wrestling match. You cut it open and juice sprays everywhere and you end up with red-stained fingers. But think of it this way: it is a slow food. Sitting down to extract those seeds takes time. It forces you to slow down and breathe, which in itself is good for your blood pressure. Imagine sprinkling those ruby red seeds over a salad or just eating them by the spoonful as a snack. They pop in your mouth with a sweet, refreshing crunch. It is a taste of luxury that heals. If you're on blood thinners or specific medications, always check with your doctor before adding a lot of pomegranate or grapefruit to your diet, as they can interact with how drugs are metabolized. But for most of us, it is a fantastic, delicious way to support heart health. Which brings us to our fourth and final sweet treat. This one is often misunderstood, and sometimes people avoid it because they think it is too creamy or rich. We are talking about yogurt, specifically when paired with a touch of honey or fruit. Now, you might be thinking, wait a minute, yogurt isn't sweet on its own, and you're right, plain yogurt is tangy. But when you turn it into a dessert with natural sweeteners, it becomes a blood pressure superfood. Here is the science. As we age, we often become deficient in two critical minerals, calcium and potassium. We hear a lot about sodium raising blood pressure, but we don't hear enough about how potassium and calcium lower it. They work in opposition to sodium. They help your kidneys flush out excess salt, and they help the walls of your blood vessels relax. Dairy products like yogurt are packed with calcium and potassium. But there is another layer to this story. It is the probiotics. The good bacteria in yogurt help maintain a healthy gut. Emerging science is showing us that there is a direct link between the health of your gut bacteria and your blood pressure. A happy gut often means a happier heart. The key here is to avoid the pre-sweetened yogurts that are basically melted ice cream in a tub. Buy plain Greek yogurt, which is higher in protein, and sweeten it yourself. Here is a strategy for you. Take a cup of plain Greek yogurt, drizzle just a teaspoon of high-quality honey over it. Honey, unlike refined white sugar, has antioxidants and trace minerals, or better yet, mash up a very ripe banana into the yogurt. The banana adds even more potassium, a double whammy for blood pressure, and provides plenty of natural sweetness. Sprinkle a little cinnamon on top, which also helps regulate blood sugar, and you have a dessert that feels like a cheat meal, but is actually a nutritional powerhouse. Imagine ending your dinner not with a heavy cake that leaves you feeling bloated, but with a cool, creamy bowl of yogurt that soothes your digestion and calms your arteries while you sleep. It is about making the smart swap. So to recap what we have covered today, we are looking at 4 incredible treats: dark chocolate for the nitric oxide boost to open up your vessels, berries for the antioxidants to reduce inflammation and stiffness, pomegranate for its enzyme-blocking power that mimics blood pressure medication naturally, and yogurt with natural fruit or honey for the mineral kick of calcium and potassium. It feels a bit unsettling to learn all this sometimes, doesn't it? We spend so many years being told to cut things out, to starve ourselves of pleasure in order to be healthy. It is easy to feel guilty every time you want something sweet, but remember, knowledge is power. Now that you know the chemistry behind these foods, you can make choices that serve you. You don't have to overhaul your entire life overnight. You don't have to be perfect. Even if you just swap your evening cookie for a square of dark chocolate or trade your morning juice for a handful of blueberries, you are making a difference. Imagine walking up the porch steps easily again without that pounding in your chest. Imagine going to the doctor and seeing their eyebrows go up in surprise when they read your numbers. That is the difference these small tweaks can make over time. It is about giving your body the tools it needs to heal itself. Your body is always on your side. It is always trying to reach balance. We just need to give it the right fuel. Growing older is inevitable. The calendar will keep turning. But growing weaker or sicker doesn't have to be. Getting older is hard, I know. The aches, the fear of losing mobility, the worry about being a burden, it can be scary and discouraging. Some days it feels easier to just give up and accept that this is how it is, but you are not alone in this, and it is not too late to turn things around. Every small step you take, every better food you choose, every good habit you build is strengthening your legs, your heart, and your future freedom. One meal, one step at a time, you are taking charge of your health. You have the power to change the trajectory of your aging process. You are capable of feeling better than you do right now. Now, I would love to hear from you because your experience matters. Which of these tips surprised you the most? Did you know that chocolate could be a health food, or was the pomegranate connection new to you? Do you have any personal recipes or ways you enjoy these foods? Share your story or any questions in the comments below. I read every single one, and we all learn so much from each other. Your tip might be exactly what someone else needs to read today to get motivated. And if you are still with me and determined to stay strong and take control of your blood pressure, I want you to type a number 1 in the comments to affirm it. It is a small gesture, but it is a promise to yourself. If this video helped you or opened your eyes even a little, please hit the like button. It means a lot to me personally, and it helps us reach more seniors who need this hope. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss out on important health insights that could improve your life. We have plenty more science-backed tips for thriving in your golden years, because your health and independence are worth fighting for. Stay strong, stay healthy, and remember, your independence is carried by your choices. Keep taking those small steps for your health. They add up to giant strides in your freedom. I will see you in the next video.